I scorched the earth with these hot lines for the millionth time. Fire and brimstone erupting from the microphone. I steal the show and like a thief in the night.
Guys, we're playing a man down this evening. Co-producer Zach Heiser is making his adult basketball league debut tonight. Now, I saw Zach in the office earlier today, and I told him to avoid sudden changes of direction at all costs. And under no circumstances should he try to jump, whether for a rebound or a jump shot. Nothing good could come of that. Zach reassured me he'd be okay. But can you remember the last time you played basketball competitively?
Probably the last time I did was probably the last time I had two good Achilles. So I think that was my signal to hang him up.
It is a young man's game, to be
Absolutely.
sure. Now, Hayden, you're still a regular in the Shelby Alumni
we don't
League.
even have a name for it, I don't think. But I mean, I've got 10 years on Zach, and I still get pretty worn out and pretty scared at my health when I play. So he better be careful.
I'll tell you the same thing. Yeah, just please be careful. And Zach, if you're listening out there, I hope everything went well. The opening round of the new look playoffs has come and gone, and if last week's results are any indication, the 12-team regional format has done what people hoped it would do when they adopted it last June. For the past 4 years, for those of you who might not know, the top 16 teams in each of the 28 regions around the state qualified for the postseason. And during those 4 years, I went back and looked, and number one seeds were a combined 111-1 in those games against number 16 seeds, and the scoring differential in those games was 4,309 points in those 4 years, or 38.5 points a game. The running clock was triggered in 87 of the 112 games, and that the running clock is, if a team is leading by 30 or more points in the second half, it goes into effect. This year, only the top 12 teams in the region made the playoffs. The top 4 teams got a bye. And last week's opening round, number 5 seeds who played number 12, number 5 seeds were still 25-3, but the games were a lot more competitive. I think 10 of the 28 5 versus 12 games had running clocks, when the average point differential was only 21.1 points a game. Statewide, in all those games, there were 33 running clock games. They're about 29% of the games from last weekend, which is a pretty dramatic reduction in blowouts compared to the 16-team regional format. If the point, I guess, was to be more competitive in the opening round, then job well done.
Absolutely. I think it was necessary, and to try to change things up. So I'm glad they gave it a chance, but it's also an opportunity to get more teams. But the way they structured it is, it kind of encourages more competitive balance,
right.
and with, like we were talking about earlier, giving those higher seeds a chance to get a break.
Right.
I think they earned it.
Yeah, and we're going to find out a lot more about the new format this weekend when the top 4 seeds all jump into the fray after a bye week. A lot of the coaches I talked to when the announcement was made in June had kind of mixed emotions about the bye. They weren't sure how, they invited the opportunity to rest and get healthy after 10 regular season games, but other guys worried that taking a week off would break the routine, and players and coaches, for that matter, are creatures of habit.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel, but I do know with the grind of a 10-week football season, I would embrace that week of just getting my kids that rest and that break physically.
Right.
Now, where it would be a challenge is how do we deal with the mental conditioning of playing each week,
right.
and how your kids would handle that not playing, especially when you don't know who you're going to play
right.
That coming week. That would be the challenge, but I would embrace getting that physical break that week for those kids.
And another thing it did too, because not for everybody, because geographically it's a little unrealistic for everyone that had a bye to go watch who they may be playing. But I didn't think about that. I watched Clear Fork and Orville, and Shelby was going to host the winner of that game, so a lot of them were down there.
Sure.
But not everyone could do that. But that's another thing that it introduced that you previously couldn't do.
Right. I think what concerned a lot of coaches was that of teams that got a bye is they're knocking off the rust against a team that played last weekend and won last weekend, and that is that's a whole different animal there. So it's we'll see what it looks like here going forward, but there's no playbook for any of this yet. So coaches and players don't know what they don't know. And every other OHSAA sanctioned sport, higher seeds have the opportunity to take a bye or opt to play a first round game, and I wonder. I mean, football is just a whole different animal. I wonder if you would risk not taking the bye if you had that choice. I mean, it seems like that's they'll jump off that bridge if they ever come to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be different, especially if you knew who you were going to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think some coaches may entertain that.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I knew exactly who I was going to play and I could, I would know my path, some coaches would entertain that because, like you said, some teams – football is a game of momentum, man, and once you get rolling and you not only in the game but just in the course of a season, you get a team that gets on a hot streak and starts winning, it's hard to stop them. So, some coaches I'm sure would entertain that.
Right. Now, locally here, 12 of the 20 schools that we cover in our 3-county area reach the playoffs, and 5 of those schools earn first-round byes. That group includes 3 number 1 seeds. Shelby's the number 1 seed in Region 14 of Division 4. Centerburg and Knox County earned the number 1 seed in Region 23 of Division 6, and defending Division 7 state runner-up Hillsdale switched from Region 25 to Region 27, and they locked up the top seed in that region. The other 2 teams to get by is Galleon's the number 2 seed in Region 14, and last but certainly not least, Lexington earned the number 3 seed in Region 10 of Division 3. Lex locked up that first-round bye in their first Ohio Cardinal Conference Championship since 2016 with a 43-35 win over Ashland in Week 10. And we're joined in studio by the star of that game. He is Lexington's 7 Allen and 7. Thanks for coming down. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome, man. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we got a lot of ground to cover here, but before we do that, let's take a minute to thank our sponsor, Graham Auto Mall. Whether you're cruising in for a new ride or keeping your current one in top shape, Graham Auto Mall has you covered. Shop a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles or trust the expert service team to keep you on the road. If you're in the market for a vehicle, stop by Graham at 1515 West 4th Street in Mansfield or visit GrahamAutomall.com. Graham Auto Mall, your hometown dealer. Now, 7, and you heard the intro there. I mean, you guys had that off, the week off last week. I mean, what was navigating the bye week like as a player? I mean, what'd you guys do?
I mean, our coaches did a great job making sure we were prepared to go into this week. I mean, we didn't really do a lot of tackling, a lot of physical stuff. I mean, we started in film. I mean, that's really where most of our work came from last week. We did film, studied up on the team that we thought we were going to play against, and it ended up happening. We were playing against that team. We knew what it was going to come to. I mean, just getting our bodies right. That's really the main goal. 10 weeks, I mean, physical football. I mean, we had a stretch of long games, good games. I mean, I think the bye week was great for us.
Yeah, and F, I mean, that's it right there. You got, I mean, I think the first and foremost is health and being as healthy as you can be going into the postseason. Well,
and 7 just said it, man. It's a grind, man. Those weeks are just some of them are lighter than others, but and especially Lexington's brand of football is not like all flash, man. They're a physical football team.
Sure.
So it's a grind. So I'm sure the players and the coaches, they enjoyed having that week off, at least physically. But I always thought that this part of the season, even when you do know who you're going to play, even this week coming, has got to be more about mental preparation. So it's all about film study. It's all about, fitting up in practice. We, once we were, when I was coaching, we were in the playoffs. It's, we rarely got into anything but shoulder pads. And even we were in shoulder pads, it's only once a week because it's about fitting up. It's about knowing your assignments and your mental state. And, when you think about that part, 7, and here we are. You just finished up. You guys probably practiced today on Wednesday. How do you feel about where you guys are mentally this week going into game week? Where are you guys at?
I mean, I feel like we're ready. I mean, just from last year, I just feel like we're ready. I mean, everybody's just like been waiting on this game. This has been through the whole summer. This is what we've been waiting for. This game has been circled on our list for a long time.
And I would imagine, that later, you probably stopped tackling at some point during the regular season, right? You kind of phase that piece out of it at some point, even during the regular season towards the tail end, I would think.
There's a point where you stop tackling. There's a point where you stop, like, conditioning, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like extra conditioning and things like that. There's a point where you stop doing all those things, but and then you start focusing on being sharper. But because you realize that it does more harm than good. But you got to be sharp, and you go into these games, man, and if you are not mentally prepared, this is where teams at this level, they more take advantage of where you mentally if you miss an assignment, it hurts you worse than missing a tackle.
Right.
You see what I mean? So that's what the playoffs are about, is where are you at mentally? Are you where you're supposed to be? Are you running the right route? Are you reading things the way you're supposed to read them? That's what the playoffs are about.
Right. And it turns out, the way the bracket's set up, you guys are going to end up playing Toledo Central Catholic, and we're going to spend plenty of time on that team in a little bit here. They beat Ontario 35-0 up in Toledo last Friday. And we talked a little off the air. There were some of your teammates who made the trip to the northwest part of the state, huh?
Yeah, it was our coaches and teammates went up there. Me personally, I didn't go, but yeah, our team did. Right.
And like I said, we'll get to Central Catholic, but let's talk about Lexington and how you came to be a Minuteman. You started your high school career at Madison before transferring over to Lex. That was after your freshman year. Just walk us through that. I would imagine that's a difficult decision to make.
I did start off at Madison. It was hard. At first, I wasn't going to play football. That's what a lot of people don't know. I wasn't going to play football in my high school career. I was just going to focus on basketball. But then my coach at Madison, he got me out, and he forced me to come to the first game against Shelby my freshman year. Sat on the sideline with him and just watched the game. And then after that, it was just from there, I just locked in and just kept going. Didn't take my foot off the gas.
Did you play much as a freshman out there, or was it more of a just kind of watching and getting a feel for what's going on?
I played a freshman game and a JV game.
Okay.
And a couple varsity games, but I wasn't getting the ball. I wasn't in the mix.
Okay.
I wasn't the star player like I am now, but yeah.
And for everyone gets there at a different time, everyone's journey is a little bit different, I guess.
No, but that's for a lot of young kids, man. That's the journey, man. It's for a lot of young kids and that I talk to, this is a basketball town, man. I don't care. It has been for a long time, and I will argue with anybody. And I know there's great football here. There always has been for a long, but this is a basketball town, and this Hoop Dreams could have been filmed right here in Mansfield, Ohio.
Absolutely.
So that's just the way it is. But what we find is once young men get introduced to football in the right way, and they start to see man, there's so many things I can do on the football field.
Right.
Basketball is nice, but it is you got to have a specific set of skills to be a great basketball player. On the football field, there's so many things that I could be good at, and so that's why I love multi-sport athletes, because you start to realize, man, it's a finite amount of basketball players that can do. We're sitting here with one of them, but it's a small group of young men that can be good at both. But once you get properly introduced to football in the right way, which it sounds like that was the right way,
right.
But you'll find that football is a special sport, man. And once you get involved in it, it's hard to walk away from it.
And credit to the coaching staff
For sure.
out at Madison. I mean, things haven't gone great out there, but they had the good sense not to throw
and
not
let him go.
Right, you were what? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were much smaller then than you are.
Yeah, I was a lot smaller. I was way smaller.
There's no sense in throwing a 5'5", 120-pound kid out onto a varsity football field.
No. But I'm sure that when you think about that, Seven, like, do you ever think that? Did you ever, even then, do you ever think like, man, what if I wouldn't have start playing football?
Yeah,
Like,
I do think about that a lot because, like, my dad always told me, don't just do one sport. Just choose multiple and just, like, have fun with it. I mean, you're only, like, a kid for one time. I mean, yeah, I always think about it because, like, if I never play football, I don't know where I will be, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Now let me tell you one thing. I know we're gonna talk a lot about Seven. I got to tell you this quick story.
Okay.
It was early 2000s. I was a young coach, maybe 20 years old.
Okay.
We're doing an open gym, and Jeff McCoy and I are coaching JV team. A young man comes into the gym. I'd never seen him before. He's probably picks up the basketball. He goes down and back. We're doing down and back drills. He's faster than everybody in the gym. And there's varsity kids in there. Now, this is, Marquise Sykes' senior year, and a lot of he's faster than everybody in the gym, quicker than everybody in the gym, best ball handler in the gym. And we're like, he's only a 10th grader. We're like, who the heck is this guy? And he comes out, we're playing open gym. He's going by everybody, going to the basket, scoring, nice little jump shot on him. And so we pull him over, we meet him, and, he ends up having a great sophomore year. He plays JV for us. Greg dresses him varsity. And I am telling you right now, the young man was one of the best. Well, he was definitely the best player in that class, but one of the best athletes in that building in the early 2000s. That young man was Kenny Allen.
Okay.
That was his father.
Right.
And I will tell anybody to this day that when I watch him play, I was just telling Seven this, that he's got so many attributes of his father's game. And I know this makes me like I'm not that old. I started coaching when I was young. But
showing your age.
No, I'm just saying. I started coaching when I was very young. But he's got so many attributes of his father that it's almost scary to watch him play basketball. But his father was an outstanding athlete, and I see that all in him.
Does Dad talk much about his playing days? Does that film still exist
Yeah,
someplace?
he still thinks he can beat me one-on-one. I mean, he was always – people didn't know. My dad was always a baseball player. Like, he was heavy on baseball. He loved baseball. He always wanted me to play baseball. I just never liked it.
Okay.
I never liked it.
Well, I mean, you made that decision to go to Lex. I mean, what was that reception like? I mean, when you got there, was it a little frosty? I mean, did they welcome you with open arms?
I mean, I always been around those kids, like me, Braden, Latrell, Dontrell, Markel. We always been around each other since elementary, and I always wanted to play with those guys. I mean, I played with Joey when we were younger. I played against Braden and Dontrell. We all played on separate youth teams. Played against each other for 4 years straight. It was competitive. But I always told those guys I always wanted to play with them. And, I mean, yeah, they welcomed me in warm. I mean, everybody did. I mean, everybody loved me when I was fresh into Lex. I mean, I just love it at Lex.
Right. I mean, and that's a class. I mean, and they got, there's 20 seniors on the football roster.
Yeah.
That's a class that was very successful very early. And to introduce somebody new, I mean, that could potentially cause some friction. But it sounds like that was not the case here, right? Well, good. I mean, that works out nice. I mean, did you feel comfortable right away, or was there an adjustment period for you?
I mean, yeah, I was comfortable.
So your sophomore year in football at Lex, you guys were 3-5 before you guys beat Madison and Ashland in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. That got you into the playoffs as a 13 seed. You came to Arlen Field and fell to Mansfield Senior 30-13. That was your first taste of playoff football. What did you remember about that night, and what do you learn about yourself, I guess, on a night like that?
I mean, I don't really remember much that night. I mean, I played I think it was the first half of that game, and then I got hit, and then I had a concussion, so I sat out the rest of that night. But, I mean, for the most part, it was a good game. I mean, we were young. I mean, it was really nothing that we could do about it. I mean, our team, we was just like, I love the seniors, but it was just like, I don't think we were ready. It wasn't really like the same that we are now.
Right. And you said it. I mean, you guys trailed 14-10 at the half of that game. It was 14-13 in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Senior high scored, I think, 16 unanswered to close it. But, I mean, I would think you guys learned a little something about yourself on a night. I mean, what do you learn about yourself in a game like that?
I mean, just like always come out with fire. I mean, we learned that last year in the playoffs. I mean, last year we came out just like we weren't ready at all, and they just took it to us. I mean, that's what we learned about. That's why we're ready to go into this week. So that's why we're so prepared.
And you and I have talked. I mean, there's a process to winning,
sure.
You know, and you have to get there and maybe not be successful before you learn how to be successful.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about having, and I think we talked about this last week, when you have young players that are able to have the experience and then come back again.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so many teams, they have to work their way, and they don't get there until their class is seniors.
Right.
And then by the time they get that experience,
it's a one-off situation.
They're gone. And then they got to rebuild up again. So this is a unique situation where, they were successful enough to make the playoff, make a run, get to this point. Last year, they understand now what it takes. They saw this same team last year and understand, like, okay, that's a different level.
Right.
Now they know exactly what to expect, and that's why I think, this is going to be interesting to see because nobody knows. And I remember watching senior high play Toledo Central Catholic a few
2 years
ago.
ago. Yeah,
2 years ago. And it was the same for them. And it was like – and we were not that bad of a team, but they just had no idea the level of what it was, that next step for them. And it was like we weren't ready.
Right.
And I remember talking to Choki, like, he's like, man, I wish we could just have that group one more time.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we could have that group one more time, we could, you know what I mean, and get another crack at them so they could really get that experience. And now Lex gets that chance with the core nucleus back from that team to see him again. So it ought to be interesting.
And Hayden, you kind of, well, Shelby lived that. I mean, your senior year, you guys lost to Steubenville in the regional championship game, but that was a class with, I mean, Brennan Armstrong was a junior that year, and I mean, that was a very talented junior class. And the following year, they figured out how to win that regional championship. They ran into Steubenville again in the state semifinals, but they build up to that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, very comparable to your guys' situation, because it was even with a strong group of seniors in my class, it was still a core of juniors that got that chance to play at that level and see a team learn about themselves, what they needed to do in the off season, and it earned them their first ever trip to a state Final Four for what's a very storied program. So yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity because that experience is really valuable.
Right. And Seven, last year you guys start to see. I mean, it wasn't all you guys turned it on in the postseason for sure, but it wasn't all rainbow and sunshine. I mean, you guys were 0-3 to start the season and kind of an uphill battle all year long. I mean, did facing those early struggles kind of help you catch lightning in a bottle when you got to the postseason, you think?
Yes. I mean, that 0-3 start, that helped us a lot. I mean, seeing like losing those first 3 games really helped us a lot. I mean, coming into who did we play week 4?
I can't remember who it was last year. I know this year it was North, and it might have been a non-conference game.
I think it was North last year again.
Okay.
Going into North, I mean, I didn't play last year. I was hurt.
Okay.
I had an ankle sprain. I didn't play against North or Worcester last year. I mean, going into those games, I feel like we were good and confident. It was like a change into our system last year. Because when we got to the postseason, it was a good run, and then we just got the TCC, and then it was just like nobody was ready. Everything was down because everybody was scared. Because they're a team that is good. They're very good, and they have recruits everywhere, and everybody hears about them. We didn't know how to block out the outside noise. I mean, that's all it was for us last year. We just didn't know how to block out the outside noise.
And if we'll we'll get to it, but I mean, you got to realize you're just playing this Toledo Central Catholic team and not Toledo Central Catholic's tradition and legacy.
Right. Well, and when you think about that, Seven, like, looking back at last year's game, especially since you guys are preparing differently, like, being on the field with them last year, what impressed you? Was it their physicality? Was it their size? Was it their speed? What impressed you the most about that Central Catholic team last year?
Their size. I mean, we never seen a team that big. I mean, just up front, they're very good up front.
And I was looking at. I mean, that's not going to be any different on Friday night.
No, it's not.
And it really is. It's kind of like a small college offensive and defensive front for those guys. I mean, everyone's 6'4" and 280, and that's just the nature of it at this point in the season, I guess.
Yeah, and it's designed that way, and I think part of it is understanding that going in, and when you're ready for that, and you kind of can dial that shock and awe off a little bit, and like, okay, look, they're going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. Okay, so we got to be prepared for the fact that they're going to be they're going to be bigger than us in these positions. So what can we do to counteract their size? And I think the coaches also are going to be game planning for things they can do. So again, that's another benefit of having that experience and coming back. But that is, when you look at teams like Toledo Central Catholic and being able to go back and have a do-over,
right?
It's such a it's a valuable place to be, but for them, they got to be thinking to themselves, here same Lex team.
It's Lex again.
Here they come again, and how do you think they view you guys coming into this game? What do you think they're thinking right now? They're watching film. You know what I mean? I'm sure, but what do you think? After watching you guys on film, what do you think the Central Catholic players and coaches think of Lexington this year?
I mean, to be honest, I think they're just overlooking us because who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just think that they just are going to make the playoffs just because who they are. I mean, if they're going off our film, they just better watch film and study up. I mean, if they think they're just going to walk all over us, it's not going to happen this year. I don't think it will.
And you said something earlier, and I didn't realize it. And we've had some. I mean, you guys were pretty beat up, I guess, last year in the play. I mean, because I know Braden was dealing with injuries early in that year. I mean, Dontrell was coming back. You guys didn't have Crawford, right?
Yeah,
no. That's you guys had. It's the same people, but they are not the same people.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys. I mean, health wise. I mean, how big of a difference does that make? I mean, you guys aren't all. It's not a walking mash unit, I guess, this year.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, because they never seen Avery. They rarely seen Dontrell, and Braden was like 50%. He had a toe injury at the last part of the season. So I mean, they really never seen us like all 100%.
I mean, and we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. I mean, to start this season, this year, you guys were 2-1 against the same three teams that you were 0-3 against last year. I mean, how big of a difference is that going into conference play, having beaten some of those teams and tasted success early in the year?
I mean, it helped us a lot. I mean, because last year we felt like we were going into conference play down,
right?
And we felt like I felt like this year we just needed that little boost for the first couple games. I mean, the Shelby game was a very good game. They just came out, made some plays, and took home the dub. I mean, but I think the first three games really helped us a lot.
Right. And then you guys get into conference play at 2-1. And I guess North was still on the schedule because they're a team short still in the OCC until next year. So it's 3-1 going into conference. You beat some pretty good teams that you have traditionally struggled against in West Holmes and New Philadelphia both. I mean, I would imagine, and we've talked about this, but that you give a team some confidence, and then all of a sudden, I mean, where were you guys confidence-wise after you not just beat those teams, but I covered that West Holmes game, and you kind of pushed West Holmes around, and that doesn't happen a lot. The West Holmes kids are traditionally pretty tough kids.
After the West Home game, I mean, it just like the flip just switched. I mean, just after what they did to us last year, scoring with 4 seconds left going into halftime. I mean, that really was our main focus this year, because they did that to us last year. And Coach Owens, he kept preaching that just like keep the foot on the neck and don't let up.
Right. And it's something that we've talked about. It's one thing to say we're going to go out and beat a team, and it's something else altogether to go out there and see that pay off. I mean, that does wonders for your confidence.
Well, especially in a game like football where everybody has to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And I've seen, coaching basketball. It's one thing to say, hey, look, we paying them back, and a kid like 7 can get on the court and say, no, I'll do it.
Right.
And you know what I mean, and make it happen. But in football, it's different. You know what I mean? Everybody has got to be on the same page, and I don't care how good a receiver or a running back plays or how good a quarterback plays. If 3 guys ain't on that page, I don't care how mad you are about what happened last year. You're still going to get beat.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody has to be on the same page, and that is, it is very important that everybody is in line, and if the coach understands that and everybody has that same focus and goals in mind, you can do those things. But if everybody doesn't have those goals and then everybody doesn't prepare that way, it does not matter how mad you are about what happened before.
Right. And you guys navigate the conference schedule undefeated. It sets up one of the biggest Ohio Cardinal Conference games in the conference's history. I've been around to cover all of them, and a winner-take-all game in Week 10 doesn't happen very often, but that's what the scenario was. You guys and Ashland were both undefeated in conference. Kind of a similar situation as last year, but I mean, you guys had if you'd have beat Ashland in Week 10 last year, you'd have shared the conference championship. You went there, lost 30-21. I would assume that game from last year was pretty fresh on your minds.
Yes, it was.
Is it something you guys talked about, or is it?
Yes, I mean, we preached OCC championship from the summer. I mean, from January, we were in the field house in January saying, we were breaking out the OCC championships, like we wanted it that bad.
And you guys, I mean, you hosted Ashland this year. You beat them 43-35, and you had a monster game. Listen to this: 5 catches for 149 yards, including a 94-yard catch and run on a screen pass. 4 carries for 30 yards and a score. And he returned an interception 60 yards for a touchdown. And Nathan Bernhardt had thrown exactly 0 interceptions in the past. He hadn't thrown an interception all year, and you took one to the house, and then you got another one later for good measure. I mean, where does that game rank for you in terms of individual? Is that the greatest game Seven Allen has ever played? Yes, that is the greatest
game I ever had.
I mean, when that's going on, I mean, are you aware of what you're doing, or is it just I gotta, next play we just gotta, because I mean, Ashland didn't go away, to their credit. It was a close game right up until the final.
It was really next play mentality that whole game. I mean, I was never just like focused on like doing this or doing that. I was just trying to go out there and make the big play.
Right.
And I can attest to that because being on the sideline for that game, I mean, this guy's all business. I mean, watching what he was doing that night, I was blown away. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough camera battery to be able to capture all the plays he was making. But I mean,
43-35, that's a lot of highlights.
I think after the interception, I was kind of in an awkward spot because the rest of the team's running down the field with him, but just walked right off the field. You could just see it in your eyes, man. Yeah, it was definitely next play.
What's that win mean to you personally? I mean, and to Lex? I mean, that's huge. It
means a lot to me. I mean, I never won the OCC championship in my 4 high school careers personally.
Wow.
And that's a big deal to Lex. I mean, all the coaches, I mean, they were preaching it all year. They just wanted the OCC championship, and we wanted it too. I mean, that was a big difference.
That's the stuff that, heroes are, those are memories that go on forever.
Yeah, those are the things you'll never forget. And for as long as you play or whatever you do, those are the games you'll go back to. You know what I mean? And I've talked to people who played long beyond high school, done things long beyond high school, but you'll go back to the high school games, and those things will be fun. So that's interesting. You talked about winning the OCC and having that big game. Going into that game, did you know that the Ashland quarterback hadn't thrown any picks?
Yes, I did.
Was that a goal of yours to pick him off?
I did know that. It was a goal of mine, actually. It actually was, because our defensive back coach, like, that's all he preached the whole week. Ashland, we need a turnover, and like we want turnovers. I mean, because we're almost close to breaking that single turnover record this year, so we want turnovers. So I just went out there and made plays. I mean, and on the sideline, what everybody don't know, I got yelled at the play before that because I messed up on the play, gave up a big catch. Next play, I went out there and got the interception and took it to the house. And then coach was just proud of me. I mean, that's all.
There you go.
So what is the school record for interceptions in a season for the team? I mean, you guys, I'm looking at your stats now, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Better part of 20 interceptions and 10 regular. I mean, that's doing the job back there. Are you aware of what the record is?
No, I know it's like the turnover record is 23, but I don't know the interception record. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that brings us to this week, and that's the the 10,000-pound gorilla in the room. I mean, it's Toledo Central Catholic. They were state runners-up last year. They were state champions the 2 years before that. And given what transpired last year, I mean, is this the game that you wanted? I mean, is this the team you wanted to see?
Yes, this is the team we wanted to see. I mean, either way, we were going to have to see TCC. Either way it went, we were going to have to see TCC, and we knew that. So, I mean, we're glad this is what happened. We're glad this is what happened.
And, I mean, to get them at home, I mean, that any little advantage you can dig or you can find and to play in Lexington and not have to take a 2.5-hour bus ride, that's something.
No, and that means a lot. That means a lot to get the team at home, and it's a big game for them and for you guys, because I think getting this game at home, playing a team that like you talked about could be overlooking. They could be overlooking you just because of maybe last year or maybe whatever who they are and their stature. But when you think about special things that you guys have been doing in preparation this week, and don't without giving away game plan or anything like that, but have you guys been really focusing on certain things? Have you guys been really paying certain attention to how you're going to what's preparation really been like this week for you guys?
Our preparation has just been making sure we know where to line up. I mean, they run a lot of different formations. They can mess with our head. I mean, we just want to make sure we know where we're at personally, because when we're focused and we know where we're at, we're a very good football team.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's important I think to realize, and it's worth mentioning again, you're not playing that 2022 and 23 state championship teams. You're playing the 2025 Toledo Central Catholic, and as impressive as their tradition and legacy is, you gotta that's not on the field that night.
Well, and I always thought it is always nice when a team has losses, and I don't care who they lose to. And people talk about they play in a league out of Michigan and all that, but when a team has losses, I always think look, that means they know what it feels like to get beat.
Right.
And that means when, if things go bad for them, they're just like any other team. You know what I mean? And we should feel like we are capable of taking them out just like other teams can take them out as well. So, yes, they're big, they're a giant, they're this and that. But, the games I've seen Lex play, they have got big play capability. You guys have matured yourself to a place where you're ready for this moment. At least you should be. And I think I can say that. We've got now, I think this is our third Lex senior we've had in.
Right.
And now speaking to all three of you, all you guys have matured yourself to the place where you're ready for this moment. Now it's about execution. Can you guys bring your class and bring your teammates to the place where you guys can get it done?
Right.
I think you can. So it's about you guys getting on the field and getting it done.
Right. Now, for the season, you caught 34 passes for 654 yards, 7 touchdowns, 30 carries, 282 yards, 7 touchdowns. You scored at least 1 touchdown in every game. I mean, is this what you expected from yourself as a senior? I mean, are you surprised of the production, or did you kind of sense this was what was going to happen?
I'm surprised, but not really, because I've been wishing this was going to happen. I've been waiting on this to happen. So, I mean, I really wasn't surprised.
Right. Now, you also rank among area leaders. 5 interceptions, got 2 of them against Ashland. Are you a better offensive player or a defensive player?
I would have to say offensive. I can do a lot of things on defense, but I'm a good offensive player.
Do you prefer one over the other? I mean, do you like offense better? Do you like defense better?
I mean, I love defense. I love defense.
So, I mean, and are you tell us, what your recruiting situation? Are you hearing from any colleges here? I mean, we talked a little off the air.
Yeah, I mean, since last Friday, I'm hearing from a lot more colleges. I mean, it's a lot of interest coming in. I mean, I'm just waiting. I really don't even know what sport I want to go to college for. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I mean, it's all God's plan.
Right. And if it's, you have 2 interceptions against a kid going to play Division I college football, and all of a sudden there's a lot of knocks on the door.
I am telling you, that's exactly how it happens, and nobody cares how you get there. I got in on the coattails of a teammate. That's how I got to college. I had a great teammate, and people were coming to see him, and they saw me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how it happens, man. And you had a great game, and and you've had a great season, a great career. But sometimes the eyes aren't there all the time.
Right.
And you played one of your best games against a guy who's got eyes on him all the time. That's how it happens. I'm interested. You talked about your recruiting situation in different sports. When you think about, how playing basketball and football, and have you thought about if you had to make a choice, what would it be? What would you prefer? Would you go to a school? And here's a question for you: would you go to a school that would allow you to play both?
Yes, I would. I would definitely go to a school that would allow me to play both. I mean, I love both sports. I mean, you can't take basketball away from me. I've been playing that sport all my life. I started playing football in 6th grade. That's what a lot of people don't know. I never played football all my life. I was always scared to play football.
Well, that's how us little guys are. Absolutely. And this is a conversation, actually, and it seems like the perfect time that I've wanted to have with you for a while. We always kind of get sidetracked. But, I mean, I would talk to Chioke about this a few years ago when Amar Davis was breaking every Mansfield senior receiving record. And Chioke would say, that the transfer portal isn't just changing college football. It's changing opportunities for guys like Amar and guys like Seven. I mean, instead of maybe taking a risk on an unproven kid, they can just jump in the portal and get a proven commodity, and that changes the whole landscape.
Well, all of recruiting has been changed because of that, and who's being hurt by that is the high school athlete, truly. And now the best thing though that I'm seeing is there are a lot of coaches now. And Ryan Day is one of them that have at Ohio State, and there's some other ones that have stayed true to their commitment to high school level recruiting and development.
Right.
Because they're saying, look, the portal has its place, and they do get some, but they are staying true because they understand if they want to stay good and remain good.
Right.
It's one thing to be good for a year and then go back and rebuild every 4 years or so. But if you want to remain good, you got to develop players. But what has happened in this day and age of college sports, the high school athlete now is being not only that we used to always just have to compete against other seniors.
Right.
Now, you as a senior, you got to compete against other seniors, grown men in junior college, grown men at other colleges, for a scholarship spot. So that's the hard part. But the blessing in all of that is that there are so many opportunities now for these young men and different. Now you are a film, where for us it was like if we wanted our film to be out, we had to literally put it in what's called a VHS tape. I know you don't know anything about this stuff, but there was a tape that was this thick, and we had to put it in an envelope that was this wide and mail it, and it took 3 weeks to get to one school, and we never knew whether they got it or not unless they really, really liked us. So, but now you're a film away, send that thing on the internet, and it can go to 50 schools in one. You know what I mean? Right. So there is some balance there, but it it's an interesting time for the high school athlete, but I like the fact that there are still some college coaches that are committed to recruiting high school kids, man, and that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause about what's going on today.
Right. And I used to have this conversation with Lee Owens over at AU, because they would play. It was at the kind of the very onset of the portal, and it trickled down to the D2 level. Ashland's a really good D2 team, but they would play some teams, and Lee would say they're bringing in mercenaries. They're bringing in hired mercenaries for one season. He said, what we're trying to do at AU is we want to develop a culture there and give these kids a real college experience and not, here today, gone tomorrow situation.
Right. Well, and so I wanted to ask Seven, when you think about, I know you've heard about, NIL deals and things like that. So when you think about the college landscape and how things are going on with colleges and, students getting paid and things like that, what do you think about? And do you see yourself, when you think about the recruiting and all of that, how do you feel about how college sports and how colleges are recruiting today's athlete?
I mean, I like it. I like the new NIL thing. I mean, it's good for us athletes, but I mean the transfer portal, I don't like how the grown man can get a spot before us high school students. I mean, it's taken away from us. But I mean, I like the recruiting. I like the process. I mean, it's a cool process to go through.
Right.
I agree.
Now, in addition to, and we've kind of sprinkled it in here, in addition to what you do on the football field, you're a very talented basketball player too. I think you helped Lexus won 3 conference championships in a row, last 2 of them outright. You're going to score your 1,000th point sometime pretty early in the season.
Yeah, the first 3 games it should be first 3 games.
Well, what's that number mean to you as a basketball player? That's still a pretty significant number.
I mean, it means a lot to me. I mean, I've been ready. I've been waiting to hit 1,000 points. I mean, that's a big goal of mine, but I really want to hit 500 assists before the season is over this year too.
That's nice.
Where you sitting there? Do you know?
Probably in my. I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm probably high up.
How about points wise? I think I had you at 965. Is that the neighborhood?
Yeah, I think it is around there. Yeah, it is 965 actually.
Well, this year's basketball team, and it leads to a nice little transition. I mean, it's for all the success that you guys have had. This year's team is going to look very different from years past. I mean, when we had Joe Caudell in here earlier, he told us then that he was planning to graduate early so he could get a jump start at Michigan State, and Braden didn't come right out and say it, but you got the very distinct impression that Braden's gonna check out early to get to Georgia and get started. I mean, what's Lex basketball going to look like this year?
I mean, it's going to look a lot different. I mean, without the size we had on the floor before, I mean, it's going to look a lot different. I mean, we got some younger kids coming to play up. I mean, Jaden Perkins, he's a really good athlete. He's really somebody to watch out for. He's great. He's a freshman. He's coming up. He's going to be playing a little bit this year. I mean, we still have the twins. I mean, it's good to still have us seniors around the young ones. I mean, because when we leave, I mean, we got to teach them the way, how to be leaders and how to go about the team. I mean, but it's going to be different. It's going to be fun, too.
For the time being, though, basketball can wait.
Yeah, that can wait, though, right now. For right now, that can wait.
Well, what would mean more, getting to the state semifinals in football or getting to a Final Four in basketball?
Ooh, I'll take a Final Four in basketball.
Okay.
That's pretty fun.
Well, good. That's. I think that's everything I had. We like to close it out with the 2-minute drill. We'll throw you a bunch of questions here. Now, one of your teammates said earlier in the year that you were the biggest trash talker on the team. Is there any truth to that?
It is. It's a lot of truth to that. I mean, but sometimes I could be quiet. If you start with me, I'm going to start with you.
Every team's got to have one. Every team's got to have one. So.
Do you talk more on the football field or on the basketball court?
The football field.
Give us the PG version of what you say. I mean, what's how do you get into an opponent's head?
I'll call him like trash or something. I'll call him like trash. You can't score on me, something like that.
Who's Lexington's next biggest trash talker?
Avery Crawford.
I think that was the consensus then too. Well, take us through your haircut. When's the last time you got it cut, and who puts the braids in?
I got it cut today, and This girl named Naira puts the braids in.
How long does it take?
2 hours.
No kidding. That's a lot of sitting in the chair. Favorite high school sports memory?
Probably in basketball. My freshman year. Actually, being Shelby my freshman year was probably my best high school memory.
All right. If you got a late offer in football, but the deal was you had to graduate early, would you be willing to pass on that basketball season?
Ooh. No.
Absolutely.
Wow.
No.
And finally, I guess what would the perfect ending to your high school sports career look like if you could write it here?
I really don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's everything we got here. We certainly appreciate you coming down here. We wish you the very best of luck on Friday night against Toledo Central Catholic, and hopefully you guys will keep it rolling for a couple more weeks. So thanks for stopping by.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.